Hi, everybody. This is Chris,
This is Matt.
and today we're talking about Bard's Tale. Sort of. What level did you get to, Matt?
Well, okay, so there's been some issues I've had with Bard's Tale and with real life.
Yeah.
It being spring break and
Mm-hmm.
but mostly I've just had a real hard time kickstarting my Bard's Tale experience for a variety of reasons. Some of them are just my mental shortcomings, and some of them are that.
Bard's Tale is a ball kicker. I mean, especially the first couple levels, and I'm pretty sure you're not the only person having trouble getting off. But you were liking what you were playing, is what you were telling me.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, I like it. Like I think it's fun, and I like the city,
mm-hmm.
and I'm enjoying bombing around the city, but I'm just having a hell of a time. I wasted probably like a week or 2 weeks because I didn't understand the basic mechanics of the
Right.
game, and so I think what we're mostly going to talk about now is more of a how to
Yes.
for my benefit more than anything else. But
Well, I
then
think
if
other people
anyone,
too. Yeah.
yeah, because if you want to play this, I mean, there's some weird stuff, and it, I don't know. Like, are people playing Bard's Tale for the first time? Am I the only person who's
You can't be
experiencing
the only
that?
person. Like I know there are some, but we also want people to be playing Bard's Tale for the first time because
Yeah.
this is perfect segue. What we normally do is every month we pick a game, we play it for a month, we come back and talk about it. And these are games that are all over 20 years old, and for some people they'll be seeing these for the first time. So if you've never played this game and you're trying to crack into something that is now 30 years old, this might not be a thought process you're familiar with. Where at the time, it just made sense to like me and to the other people playing. It was just this is how you play these games.
Well, the thing about old games that I always am like blown away by is how different and how like off the rails all the interfaces are in these things. Because nowadays it's like, oh, escape is a menu, I or tab is inventory, blah 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 blah. You move with WASDF if you know what you're
Hmm.
doing. And but these old games, it's not like that.
No.
You don't. It's not always. Even like the main weird thing about Bard's Tale is the saving, and that to me was just like mind-blowingly strange.
Yes. And we're going to talk about that because you need to know how to rig the saving system so that you aren't constantly starting back over.
Yeah. So
Um,
let's get a party going here.
yeah. So,
You're playing live. This is
yeah,
also unusual for us. You're going to play this
I'm going
live.
to play this live. Start out, you pick a race. I don't even remember if the races do anything. One of the things I used to do even as a kid is I would dwell a long time on what race am I taking, what class am I taking, and for Bard's Tale, it matters, but it doesn't. I believe
This
it changes the some of your stats on where they can start. Like it says hobbits are more nimble and dexterous, and that makes them better for being rogues and things like that. But it's all randomly assigned numbers, and they're between 3 and 18 standard D&D rule stuff. So for me, it's more of a role-playing situation of I want my guy to be a dwarf than it actually matters. So let's start out with you can take 6 people in your party. Um, who do we want to start with? We're going to start with fighters up front for the first three because those are the
Yeah.
only ones that can attack. And there's an important thing that you might not realize right away. You're going to take 6 people, but only the first three can do physical attacks. The last three are all in this game only magic style attacks, and in the next couple games you actually can do some missile weapons, but in this game only physical attacks. So we'll start with a half-orc. You want to start with
Sure.
human?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
to have diversity here. We
Yeah,
don't want all humans.
all humans.
Yeah.
Um,
So like, I, to start off, I wasn't even looking at the stats, and you kind of had mentioned offhandedly something about that, but I think it's okay to not really worry too much about what your stats are, right?
so yeah, I mean, in the beginning, your stats kind of make a difference, but not so much, and definitely not by the end of the game. So do not get hung up on min-maxing every stat right out the gate. It can help you, but not enough that it's worth your time to put into. The one thing you want to pay attention to is over here. We got the hit points.
Yeah.
I accidentally in this last game took a fighter with 5 hit points. That made it really hard for me. But he's got 23. That's a reasonable amount. He's got a good strength. He's got an okay dex. Dex is more important than anything because it's going to determine how fast you can attack and when you attack in the round. If you
Yeah.
hit them first, you've probably killed them. So you want to hit them first because then they're
Right.
just not there to be a problem.
Yeah.
We have the list of classes we can take right now. Warrior, Rogue, Hunter, Conjurer, and Magician. The Conjurer and Magician are 2 types of magic users. I recommend you take one of each. Um,
Yep.
some people think you can get by without one, but I don't understand why you'd bother because there's 3 spots in the back for whatever you want to do. So let's start with just a straight up warrior. They can. Oh shoot! I accidentally hit the tilde, which apparently takes you back. And that basically lowered my strength and dex by 1. Hooray!
Nice.
Let's
Nice
go
work,
back. Yeah,
soldier.
let's go back one. Let's try this again.
Okay. Human.
No,
That's
I went half orc. This is even
oh,
better.
Half-Orc.
Half orc.
Yeah, yeah. Warrior.
Perfect.
Warrior.
Warrior.
So number 1.
And what do we want to call this guy?
I think we want to call him
Porkins.
Porkins. Yes, Jack Porkins.
All right. So now we've got Porkins in there. Add a member. Add Porkins. Now, one of the things I'm going to do right away is I'm going to add El Cid because, and this is something no one tells you this. Cancel. I want to go into El Cid. I'm going to continue.
The way you're doing this is interesting. You use the mouse. I use the number keys when I interact with.
I
these
usually
guys.
do because I come from the Commodore side, and that's the thing I'm playing for next month when we finally talk about this.
Yeah.
Where's
But it
El
makes
Cid?
for better YouTube if you use the
Well,
mouse
and it's also
numbers,
what
so
you're
good call.
playing, so
Yeah.
you know.
You can use the number keys in the PC version.
Yeah, I'm confused though. Does Brian the Fist have it?
No, it is Marcus has
Marcus
the.
has it. Marcus has what I'm looking for. All right. Come here,
So
Marcus.
these
There we go.
these we should tell people those El Cid, Brian the Fist, Marcus. These are the pre-packaged characters.
Yeah, and if you want to get into the game and get a feel for it, just add them.
Yeah.
Get playing. Don't. They're gonna die. Um. So, but you want to take this fire horn and trade it to one of the guys you're gonna keep. So we're gonna just give it to Porkins right away.
And if you're inclined, you can loot all that shit
Yeah.
from those dudes, which I did unapologetically after flandering around with this for a week or 2.
And the no shame.
Yep.
No shame in Bard's Tale because it is so rough on you. All right.
Mhm.
I didn't want to add. I wanted to create another character. Let's
Yeah.
go human. This gives you the full range of what you can add. Paladin. So my second class, I usually take either paladin or hunter.
Okay. I think I took a monk.
I will take a monk for my third class, but
Okay.
we can do monk right now if you want.
Sure.
Dexterity's not super high. Let's re-roll that. That's a little better. Let's take the monk.
Yeah.
You got a name for him?
Thelonious. No,
Nice.
Thelonious. Thelonious monk.
Nice.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
So I can remember who's a monk because I'm not smart enough to just remember.
I named mine Friar Tuck. Spelled like
yeah.
deep fryer.
Of course.
Somebody made a comment in my playthrough about his chicken wings will be remembered. So cancel, create a character. Let's create a dwarf, paladin, or hunter.
Let's. I find paladins insufferable, so let's do a hunter.
Good call. What do we want to name this guy?
I don't know. How about Billy Mays? Because he's got a.
He does kind of have a Billy Mays looking thing going on, doesn't he?
Yep.
All right, we'll add Billy Mays into the party.
Okay, so those are your attacker dudes. Those are the guys who are gonna be the brunt of your damage.
Right.
Early game.
Right. Now we're gonna bring in the bard.
Because that's a thing. Like you pretty much, it's Bard's Tale.
hmm
So
Well, and they have a kind of magic that can be used while you're walking around and can be refreshed in a certain way, and they have access to things that only they have access to. It's one of the few classes that feels like something different from the standard D&D fare.
yeah,
Additionally, you're going to need them to get through some of the puzzles, so bard.
definitely a Bard.
And we're going to call it Tina
Perfect.
because it's Tina LaFay. Doot.
Tina.
All right, cancel. So create another character. Elf or human, hobbit. Do you want to change it up? Do something weird?
Uh,
We're doing mages now. Doing mages.
let's do a human
Let's do a
mage.
human. Okay. Okay, we'll do a human conjurer
All right,
and
Tim. He
Tim.
looks like a
He
Tim the
looks like a
Enchanter.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yep. Add Tim. Cancel. Add. Oop. No. Create. Uh, human again, because who cares?
Yeah, human. The magician. Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Are you re-rolling?
Yeah, I'm just seeing what I can get. Like, can I get anything above 13? Yeah,
For what stat?
IQ.
Oh, oh, that's because that's magic points, right?
Yep.
That's a
Eh,
pretty good roll.
that's a pretty good roll. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Magician. Uh,
How about Randy the Astonishing? Just Randy, I think. I don't know if Astonishing will fit. No.
how about
Astonishing. Oh, nope.
okay,
Just Randy.
Randy.
Tim and Randy, the two
Tim and
magicians.
Randy are magicians. All right.
Okay. So now you have. So you added the built-in guys, looted whatever you wanted from them, removed them from your party. Now you've created all your guys and added them
Right.
to a party, and now we're ready
Go out into the city.
to start in earnest.
Before we go, we're going to start with the immediate thing that you're talking about menus. This
Yes.
throws people off. Save party. We're going to save it under map training.
And this is very deceptive because you're not really saving anything
You didn't save your game.
except the roster. So
Right.
when you
So
want to add all these people at once in the right order, you add
like that.
there. Yeah. But that's not,
That's not saving the party.
which is stupid.
Because to save a character, you have to remove them from them. I have now saved Randy.
Yep.
I have
And
now
you
brought
save
Randy back.
you save per character. You do not save game state. You don't save the party. You save each character
Yep.
individually.
Yep. And because of that, even characters who've gone through certain things before, if they don't have the item that shows they've been there because that other person saved at the end, the game will treat them like they've never been there. This is it's not a casual game in how hard it is to play, but it's a casual game and you can sit down, play it, go goof around, and I'm gonna oops.
Orkins can't use that fire horn.
Nope, he can't.
At symbol means he can't use it.
Yep, I'm gonna give it to Tina.
Can Tina use it?
Yep, she's a bard.
Oh. Okay.
So now she's got something equipped. Oops. And we're going to enter the city. Now,
Okay.
first thing I'm going to do is Bard Song 4 and 5.
Okay. So could you do that again slower?
I hit Bard Song 4.
Okay. B for Bard Song, and then you're gonna choose a tune,
Yep.
and you're playing the
5.
Traveler tune.
Traveler tune. Lowers
Okay.
everybody's AC by 1. And one of the other things I want to point out while we're playing, here's a good moment to point it out. I'll point it out again when we need to use it later. But time has stood still. While I have this menu open, time is still passing in the game and like things are happening, day nights rotating, that sort of thing. But you won't get attacked. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're just your party is in a stasis even though time around it's moving on. Which is important because normally in games like this, like when we move around, um, you would think every step would be taking a turn, and that's when you might get attacked. You'll get attacked just standing there. You'll have your hit points regenerate just standing there.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen based on steps. It happens based on just hanging out. So the first thing I do, pool all gold. We've got 937 gold. I'm going to buy an item. I'm going to buy a halberd.
That's an expensive outlaying,
Yep.
uh, but worth it, I think, right?
Yeah, because um,
Okay, so now you're pooling the gold to Thelonious and
and buying
buying.
a halberd.
Oh wow, for him too.
Yep. And the reason I'm doing that is halberds hit hard enough that they'll take stuff out in one hit, even if you're like level 1.
Yeah.
So I want to get these equipped
Right.
right
Do not
away.
forget to equip your shit after you buy it.
No,
Very very common mistake for me.
oh, for everybody. Oh, Thelonious is a monk. Oh, that's right. My monk's out of order. Okay. No, I don't want him to have it. I want him to give it to Billy Mays.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I want Billy Mays to have it.
So you're trading the halberd to
Billy Mays.
Billy
Uh,
Mays.
like Thelonious is still going to do jack shit for damage, and I probably should give him a halberd until he gets a couple levels. But
Yeah.
he's a monk. Toughen those fists up, buddy.
So you, because monks ultimately you don't want, they're unarmed
They're
combat.
unarmed and they basically have no armor. They can have a little. They can have like bracers, and they can have a helm. I want to say.
Mhm.
Let's go back to Porkins. Pool all gold. Okay, I've got 537 gold. I've got to split between 3 people, so basically everybody can buy 130 gold worth of armor. So we're gonna buy. Um, let's go down to our armor, which basically
So
gives us uh,
leather
helm and
and leather.
gauntlets.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Leather gauntlets. Yeah.
Yeah. He can't use a helm. He can't use gauntlets, but he can use leather gloves. So I'll have him buy those.
Yeah. So you're basically just outfitting everyone with.
Hmm. Just the first 3, because
Yeah.
theoretically the back people can't get attacked. So I still got 227 gold. Um, so I'm going to spring for a little bit extra for Billy Mays here. Because wait, there's more. Um, yeah, we'll get him some leather as well.
Yeah. Hellbent for leather.
Oh, I still got 107. Perfect. I'll have him buy a tower shield. Here's one of the things I think is interesting in this game, and I remember in Bard's Tale 2, I just presumed Dungeons and Dragons rules applied, and they don't. You can use a halberd and a shield.
Yeah. Which is not intuitive, but okay.
Yep. So now his AC is 5. Again, Dungeons and Dragons rule lower is better. Um, it will go from 10 to -10, and then L1 through L0, L minus, L plus. I don't remember if minus and plus happens in Bard's Tale 1, but it does in 2. And once you're past L plus, it means you're lower than -21 armor class, and who
Wow.
cares? Billy Mays.
So the star means it's equipped.
Yep, star means it's equipped. Let's
You
suit
can
up
see there.
Thelonious with his gloves.
See, I bought stabs and such for my mages and robes, but you don't. You just
Let him
let them have
freeball it for a
leather.
while. They should not be. And then the first thing I do is I go right back here. I pop in here. I remove everybody.
To save them to disk.
Yep. So then now that I've saved buying them all that stuff, and I don't have to do it again.
Yep.
Enter the city. And now I basically walk around until I get in a fight. Um, I'm going to go to one of the taverns right here.
You just know where these things are?
Yes.
Because I had a hard time. I had a hard time mapping and finding things in this game for sure.
Well, we'll go back to there. I'll pull up
Yeah,
the graph paper and we'll.
yeah, we'll do that later. But I think, yeah, this is an important mechanic too, with the inn.
I need her to have some money. Ooh, she doesn't have enough money. Okay. I don't think that's enough money to order a drink.
I
Oh,
think it's
it is.
3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so your bard has to drink
To restore their songs.
in order
Unless
to
they
play
have
another song.
certain instruments. They have to have an instrument equipped. So if you're not going to steal that fire horn, you're going to have to find an instrument for them to have. And I've got volume off right now, but
And Garth's blacksmith place has instruments, right?
yes.
And
Okay,
you
we'll
just
shut
had
that off.
Tina play the.
The Wanderer's Tale travel
Okay.
thing. Um,
So you just have that on all the time, the Wanderer's song.
right.
But then why don't you go right back into the bar then and have to get another drink?
Is she got enough for that? Because if so, then yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
okay.
But I mean,
That fire horn's worth like 600 gold. I'm just saying.
I know, but I'll show you why we need it later.
Okay.
I'm gonna, because I'm hoping we get attacked. I want to look at the bard songs real quick because the Wanderers lowers your AC while you're wandering around, and if you go into deeper dungeons, it lowers your AC by more if you play it in there. Oh, here we go. So this sucks because these things hit hard.
Yeah.
But we'll do that. We'll cast Arphy, which is Arc Fire. All the spells require the codes from the book. You'll have to memorize them, look them up, that sort of thing.
So
So
pretty
I
much the only good level 1 spells, in my opinion, are B, which is a offensive spell, and Vopal,
yeah,
VOPL, which is a buffing spell.
Arphy and Vopal.
And it's also worth noting here, don't use party attack. That's a strange mechanic that we'll probably get into with healing later.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't use party attack. Use whatever the other one is.
Trap Zap is useful, but you don't really need it at level 1 because by the time you're finding chests, you're not level 1. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to hit a go. Billy Mays got hit. I'm speeding it up by hitting the greater than caret on the keyboard where it's saying faster there. So then when I'm watching combat in the future, that message will scroll by faster. Okay, so everybody just got 90 XP. Did anybody take
Nice.
any damage? Not really.
Billy Mays took a hit.
Took a hit, but that's... Okay, I'm facing north on Main Street. It's now mid-morning. I hit question mark to get that. So if you get lost, that's super helpful.
Yeah, and what's also important, like one thing I always run into with these old games that I never bought as a kid, you don't know what's in the box. And in the box for this game, you do get a map with the street names.
Yes.
So if you hit question mark, you can see what street you're on and then compare that to the map. You can find it on the internet.
Right. And yeah, you should look it up, find it. There's a Bard's Tale Tavern site I'll put a link to in there that has a ton of helpful hints and stuff on this, including all the maps. I really recommend for this game, don't look up the maps. Normally I'm one where I'm like, oh, just look up the map, find your way through. But part of the charm and heart and interesting thing of Bard's Tale is exploring it. It even says so, like right on the cover of the manual. It's like you've got 3 things you got to do when you play this game. 1 is kill the bad guy at the end. 2 is explore the game, or 2 is level your guys up, and 3 is explore the world. Exploring the world is the game. If you just have all your maps for you already, boring.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah. But use the city map, right?
Use
The
the
one
city
that came
map because it came with the book. They intend you to use that.
Yeah, but don't just go look up someone else's mapped out.
You'll be bummed. You will not understand what the joy of this game is if you didn't figure out where to go all by yourself. Okay. So we got some experience, we got some money. I am going to am I facing north again? No, I'm facing south. Perfect. Oops. Is it here I want to go? Here's where I want to go. Before I head back up to the tavern, I'm going to remove everybody because I want to save all their stuff.
Yep, because they've got some XP from that.
So right, so we now have 126 XP, and I think we need 2,000.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Everybody who doesn't want to know where the Adventurers Guild is, close your eyes. Look away for a second, because
Yeah.
the training guild is hidden. I'll tell you when you can look again. Okay, you can look for a second. So,
Yeah, this is the everything else is kind of labeled, like you can't see it from the main view, but if you look at the doors, like the taverns are labeled, but the Adventurers Guild is not. So
right.
you just have to bust down doors until you find it.
Yep. It's not too far. You'll find it pretty quick, and if you're mapping, you'll find it even quicker.
Yeah.
But you'll notice like everybody needs either like 2,000 or 1,800 initially to advance. That's fine. Boop, 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 boop. Spin you around. Okay, go in here. We're going to order a drink.
Does it matter what drink you drink?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
Other than I think if you order ginger ale, they give you a grief message like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
ordering ginger ale." But other than that, so now we're going. Ooh, oh, I'm gonna run. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna run. Okay, Tina's gonna use the fire horn and hopefully get her attack first, because barbarians will mess up your day.
Yeah, they're tough as hell.
We're gonna defend. Ooh, ooh.
Oh man.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Okay.
So Thelonious, all your dudes are pretty beat up.
All
So
my
wait,
dude. So I hit P to go into party attack. And this is something that like it takes you a while to figure out. Some people might think this is cheating. I do not in any shape or form.
no.
Um, so party attack lets you attack other party members. Like if you want to attack somebody else in your group. You need this sometimes when you're attacked either by a doppelganger or when one of your party members is possessed and you need to kill them so that they stop attacking your party.
Yeah, and there's a weird that mechanic is so prevalent in this game, and when you don't understand why, it's really kind of jarring.
It's weird. It's a weird mechanic to wrap your head around, but it's in there. And because I like games with weird mechanics that you have to wrap your head around because it makes you think about some things differently that you might not have before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in a lot of games, they have friendly fire, but this is the only one that I know that's deliberately like, let's start beating the shit out of each other.
Right, and if you accidentally hit P thinking you're going to pause it, and all of a sudden you're in
No.
party combat, you'll be wondering what the hell is going on.
Right. And so everybody at home watching right now is probably going, okay, well, you're hurt. Why are you about to start fighting each other? Really, we're not. We're going to defend with our first three people. We're going to pull open the Bard Song. And this time we're going to take number 4, Badr Kilnfest. I am not pronouncing that nearly correctly. We're going to defend with everybody else. And what's going to happen is Tina's going to play a tune, and everybody's hit points went up by 1. Do I want to continue? Yes. You still face hostile party members. Defend, defend,
Then
defend,
you
defend,
just
defend.
defend.
Up again. Yes. Defend,
Yes.
defend, 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 defend. Yes.
Yes, yes.
And you
Over
can
and
do
over
this
again.
until they're all back up.
And you should do this.
Yes.
it costs you 3 gold basically for the cost of the.
Raising all your people's hit points. The only time you want to stop doing this is when you get high enough level that this is a pain in the ass.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass always, but.
But that was pretty quick, you know.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
everybody's back up to full health. I turn around, I pop in the tavern, I order a drink. Not bad. Exit. Oh, I'm still using Commodore keys. All right. We're going to go back in here, though, real quick. We're going to pull gold. We now have 760 gold for Porkins.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Let's take a look at Porkins. What's he got? He's got a halberd, a helm, gauntlets, and a tower shield. We need to get him some armor. I'm going to buy some armor. Let's just start with scale for now, because then I can get somebody else scale.
Nice.
Like, he can only use scale, so he's done.
You didn't take a rogue, I noticed.
Nope. No need.
There's traps though, right?
Yep. And rogues can do things to disarm traps, but so can the trap zap spell, which costs 3 magic points.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. 2 magic points.
But the spell leveling's kind of strange, so you don't have it right away.
Yes, you do.
You have trap zap at level 1?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
So, in this game, I don't know why you'd take a rogue.
Okay, so I should ditch my rogue then.
I would ditch your rogue.
Okay, for some reason I thought I had to have a rogue until I hit like level 3 and then...
It suggests it, but meh. No.
Okay.
You're not even going to be in a dungeon till after level 3. Like, you're not getting in a dungeon before level 3.
Okay.
I recommend not even going in the dungeon till level 5.
Okay.
And then, even then, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run until you can take a couple real trips. But if you're mapping, there's another reason to map in this game too. Mapping helps you pace the game. If you're trying to push through the dungeon too fast and you're not trying to map it out and explore everywhere and get everything, then you're going to end up over your head very, very quickly. Where if you map each level completely, that's about the amount of time it takes you to be ready for the next level of the dungeon.
I got it. Yeah, my exploration has been really slow just because I've been mapping and kicking down most doors and all that.
We're going to trade this to Tina. And
I'm going to take a brief intermission to pee. I am very sorry. It's totally unprofessional, but I'll be right back.
Shake my head at you. Anyway, I'm equipping Tina with that. Matt doesn't need to know this basic stuff. 5, equip that. And done. Exit. What I'm going to do now is I like to go just sit in a house and let my magic points come back. We'll let the magic points come back while Matt's doing that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the manual while Matt's away for a second. Because at the end of each of the chapters in the manual, it gives you a little how-to section or a hint section, like tips from the underground places, tips from the underground combat. Let's talk about combat real quick. Usually the highest dexterity attacks first. Use bard songs to lower your armor class. If you're attacked by 2 or more groups of monsters, concentrate on magic users first. You'll probably figure that out on your own. You minimize damage by minimizing groups. We won't run into that today. Be prepared to die a lot with level 1 and 2 characters, especially at night. There's a good point. Creatures happening at night, fights happening at night in the city are harder than if they're not. I was just telling people fights that happen at night are harder than fights that happen during the day. And every time you go back into the Adventurer's Inn, it resets to morning.
Yeah.
So while you're getting your level 1 stuff up and going, go back to the inn and get yourself done there.
Yeah, using that question mark is really helpful because that's the only way you can tell what time of day it is.
Mm-hmm. Other than it's black at night. Like, you'll know.
Oh, is it black?
Yeah, you'll see.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Geez, maybe I've just been going back to the Adventures Guild so much.
It took me a long time before I ever saw Knight in this game. Um,
Yeah, maybe that's what I've been doing.
yeah, it takes. There's a bunch. Oh, ooh, ooh. I
That's
want
a lot of
to. Oh, I guess I don't get to run. Well, we're either about to get a lot of experience points or have some issues. Um, I cast Vopal on Thelonious so that Thelonious actually deals some decent damage.
yeah.
I'm going to slow this down because I want to see
Let's
what's
see.
happening here. Oh, yes!
Whoa, that's a good.
Yeah, the fire horn makes these things possible. If we didn't have the fire horn, our three fighters would be dead right now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the difference. That is absolutely. If you're not going to loot anything else, loot the fire horn, and that just gave us 120 experience points each.
Wow.
That's a it's 5% of level just off one fight.
Is that once a day you can use that?
You can use it. So there's a chance every time you use it that was the last charge and it's done.
Oh, okay.
So good luck. Hopefully it sticks around a while, but
Is it random or is it there's a set number of charges?
from what I've read, it's random.
Okay.
I know in later
Interesting.
games there's a set number of charges, but in this game it's just a random every time you use it. Hooray.
Let's take a second and appreciate that artwork. I love that with the shadow dancing around from the fire. It's
Yeah.
really good. Good EGA or CGA artwork.
Yeah. All right, I want to see where we're at. So we're at 379 XP. We are where are we at? We're not a tenth of the way to the level. We're a little over a tenth of the way to level. Like a fifth, I don't know.
Yeah, but we haven't really even done that much, you know?
No. Let me do this too. We have 676 gold again.
Okay.
Um, and basically, just keep doing this until you get a level. Um, let's try this down here. This might go horribly wrong, but we just saved. One of my favorite things to do is this thing.
Yeah, the samurai statue.
hmm I usually start here and attack it with everybody up front. Defend, defend, defend. Samurai hit for 7 points of damage. Billy Mace hits once for killing it. If you get the first attack off, you might not even take any damage. I just got 170 experience points.
Yep, and that is a once a day thing. So he'll be gone now until either night or you go to the Adventurers Guild,
Like that.
right?
Yeah. On the
And then you
Commodore version, it's until you reload, which is kind of a pain, but um,
yeah, like as far as effort to reward, this is pretty damn good. This
mhm.
samurai fight,
Yeah.
and it looks cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool
Billy Mays
samurai.
just found a broadsword.
All right.
Give that to Tina, because I think Tina can use a broadsword. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go back here. I'm going to, because I
Yep.
just did that twice.
There you
And so
go.
where are we at? So now we're at 694. So we're at
Yeah.
700. For some people, we're halfway to first level. And we've been doing this for 40 minutes. And that's with talking and creating a whole party and
Yeah.
all that. I think she's out of bard songs for the day. Let's see. Oh, she's not. Cool.
Nope. So
Let's get our
again,
hit points back up.
this is the only way to heal in early game aside from finding a temple. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do not use the temples to heal because you need that money for other things.
You're gonna need the money a lot in the early stuff. I only use the temples for healing old and like before I can heal poison and stuff.
Yeah,
No, I don't wish to continue.
but you should find those temples. And the other thing is that the inserted map they give you does give you hints about where you can find some of these
hmm
things. uh, except for the adventure or the review board or
Right, which
whatever.
is hidden.
Yeah. So you're just hauling ass around this map like it's no
There's
no big
basically
deal.
two streets I walk up and down. I basically walk around the same block between this and that tavern. Although
Yeah.
technically, if you want, Billy Mays got the first shot off. Boom, done. Didn't even need to worry about it. Another
Perfect.
170. There's a tavern right here. Order a drink. Get her stuff back.
And now you're playing the
The
Wonders.
Yep. So I lowered everybody's AC by one more.
Can you
Um,
do those stack?
no,
Does Vopal stack?
not that I know of.
I don't think it does either.
Okay, so I'm hauling up to here because I now have enough. Buy some plate armor.
Oh yes. For your boy Porkins.
Porkins there.
He doesn't look like a half orc or a
No, they
Porkins.
they don't look anything. They look based on class, not based on race.
Yeah.
So, um,
So now you're trading the interface to trade and move stuff around is actually not too bad. It's a
no,
little
not as far as
confusing.
things go.
Yeah, because you do it by character and then you select the item and then you choose what you want to do with the item after you select it, which
Yeah,
is a little strange, but in the pantheon of
right.
inventory management in these old games, it's pretty good.
It's not too bad. No.
It's probably hard for people to tell just watching you do it because it kind of goes by quick and you can't see.
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly not that bad. It's pretty intuitive.
Okay. Hang on here. Okay.
Did you just
Um,
hit your kid? he,
no.
he shut up quick.
No, I know, right? Uh,
Identify. Oh,
yeah, I'm texting to find out what's happening out there because
oh, gotcha. Yeah, I can't see your beautiful face, so I
yeah, I know. Yeah, you
apologize.
can't see me right now while we're doing
All I
this.
see is your
My
your cursor
screen.
finger moving around.
All right. While we're talking about some of this, let's so we've done that. I basically, you know, at this point, where are we at? We're at 889 experience points. Keep running the samurai. Just
Yeah,
you're getting about 200. It takes you about 10 to 11 samurai runs, presuming nothing else fights you in that process, and you're level 2.
yeah. I was disappointed that you don't get new spells at level 2, but you do get a nice bump in spell
You
points.
get some bump in spell points. You get a bump in spell hits. Oh, that's one of the other things I was going to talk to you about. So, like, we've got 6 spell points left. If you want, oh, here's a little Easter egg.
Credits. Yeah.
It's right across from the.
Brian Fargo.
Yep. Uh, you can just hang out in a house, and your spell points will go up. I
Yeah.
think I mentioned that before, but I'm mentioning it again because we're so low on them. Um, but let's do. Hang on here. I want to pull this up.
We I would like to show people what to do when you die,
Oh,
because
okay.
that really screwed me up over and over again. And I finally understand it, but I think if we should show people what to do when you
Okay.
die.
Well, while we're doing that, why don't I do this too? So we're sitting in front of the
Adventures Guild.
Adventurers Guild here. And I'm going to just basically grab this, drag the size down. Oh, got some
Oh,
barbarians going on. We've got
oh,
4
maybe we
barbarians.
will see what happens when you die.
I'm just going to defend with everybody. And we'll speed this up a little bit. Yeah, Thelonious just took a shot to the face.
Yeah, Thelonious is not doing so hot.
Okay, Thelonious is dead. Oh,
Yep.
2 people are dead. Oh, we're going to
Okay.
have to attack anyway.
Did you try to run?
I did.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, I ran.
Okay.
So we've
Okay.
got
So
3 dead people, but we
go
need to
back to
sit.
the Adventurers Guild.
Right. We are going to remove one, remove one, remove one. Stop! Don't do anything else.
Don't remove anyone that's dead from your party ever. And this is where it gets strange. So now what do?
So now I
You
quit this
close
game,
the game.
close the game. All right, so that's how you save everybody, you close out, and then when you come back in here and
Yep, you
add people
relaunch the
back,
game.
Matt training, the people who had previously been dead are back alive. The people who were alive continue to be alive. They if they had any gained experience or anything else that the other dead people you didn't get to save, but these people you did.
Yeah, and like you ran from that combat, so it's not a perfect example. Uh,
Right.
but if they had won that combat, they would still have all that XP and any gold and
Yeah.
etc. So that's how you do it. It's a
Yeah.
really, and you'll probably have to do it a lot early level if you don't really know what you're doing, because I
Well,
died quite a bit because you can't run all the time.
you
It's
can't
giant.
always run. Sometimes you fail at running. But here's the thing, like with this game so far, if I kept running that samurai, I'll bet we'd have been level 2 and we might
Mm-hmm.
not have needed to run from anything in the game.
Hmm.
It's I mean, if you're coming in fresh and you're learning, it's a handy tool because you're going to find yourself in fights that you didn't think would be hard, or maybe you got a little harder, you just had some bad luck, or whatever. But um,
Yeah, and you can find combat just by kicking in doors. Like every wall, basically, it's like a maze kind of.
yeah, okay, I
Every
have to go get to the tavern pronto
okay,
here,
yeah.
so we don't get attacked.
Oh yeah. Okay, now
Heal
you're
our
gonna
guys
do the
up, and
healing. Yep. Just watch the hit points go up, and then when it asks you if you want to continue, you just say no.
yep.
Yeah, you took a beating against those barbarians.
Hmm.
Is that what they were, barbarians?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
Barbarians and the Mad Dogs are your toughest first.
Hmm.
Nomads are up there too. They're basically barbarians.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I hadn't like deliberately tanked that
Yeah.
first round, we might have been okay there. We might have, won that. As long as you keep your hit points all the way up. Uh,
Keep that bard
oh,
song on.
okay. So we've got this. Let's find out what happens. Use.
So you can use the fire horn again.
Oh, use fire horn. All right.
Then you hit A. Yeah, when you cast a spell, don't hit 1 through 6
No,
because
that's
you'll
attacking
attack
your
your.
party members. Oh,
Yeah.
Tina's gonna start us off. Get some speed going here. And determine the speeds you're comfortable at. I usually crank it all the way up because I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
it's neat to see, but Porkins found a short sword.
You're gonna go fight
Yep.
the samurai. What great artwork.
Yep. Samurai missed. So now I just got 340 experience points in like no time at all. We're over 1,000.
So yeah, you might be able to go level up.
Not yet. I need to get them over 1,800.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
So I mean, we're over that. So at 170, that's 4 more of those. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
3 of our guys level up, and then 2 more, and then the rest of our guys level up, and nobody died unless we deliberately made them die.
Yeah, so early game is just about power leveling
Yes.
these dudes.
You power level them to get a little bit of buff and a little bit of comfort zone on you. And that's it. That's the whole magic. It's nothing spectacular. This is very grindy. You do not have to make it grindy though, and this is something we'll talk about here in just half a second, because I want to fight him one more time.
Yeah, so with me, I didn't, I didn't power level my guys because I kind of tried to focus a lot on the mapping
Hmm.
because I haven't really done in-depth mapping of these old games, and this is the first one I've really done square by square.
Right.
And I was having fun just like finding a new alley and
Yeah.
mapping it.
So
So I took it slow, but I kind of wish I had power leveled at least to 2 because some of the dealing with the bard songs and the save reload weirdness.
well,
I
and
think if you get to level 2, you'll be happier.
one of my suggestions to you was make this an idle game, and what I mean by that is, um, let's oops go to this tavern right here, order a drink, and then sit here.
Mm-hmm.
Let your magic points come back and just hang out and
Yeah.
go do something else. Go play another game. Once combat starts, the game will wait for you. You're not going to get killed while you're looking or doing something else or browsing online or whatever else you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And um, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just look
Yeah. Just
away.
have it. Yeah.
Because I've just gained 2 magic points while we're sitting here talking about how we're just going to sit here. And that's fine. So you don't have to it takes some of the sting of grinding out. And it's something I did as a kid. I would, when I wanted to grind my guys up a level, I'd start the game up and just put them somewhere where I knew they'd be fighting stuff that would get them decent experience without being truly risky.
Mm-hmm.
And then let nature take its course until I was ready to sit down and do some more mapping or some more exploring or some more anything else.
Yeah.
But as
So
for
now,
mapping,
yeah, I was just gonna say, let's talk about mapping because I had a hard time with this too.
okay, so when you enter the city, we're on Main, we're facing north,
You're right outside the Adventurers Guild,
we're right outside the Adventurers Guild. I'm going to tab over here, and
and
what you're, you
if
know,
you, I'm
hmm?
sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say if you look at your the map that's bundled with it, you'll realize you're on the east side
Yeah,
of the city here, so you can kind of start with your graph paper on the east side.
yeah, if you need. I mean, and then I'm going to go back in. So what I did is I just drew 2 lines because we're here. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
put a little eye down for in. Obviously, I'd suggest you do this with a pencil, but I need something
Yeah,
we can see on the screen here. So doot
right.
doot. Then I'll pop back in here. And what I do when I map is I just look in all the directions. So same thing, other side. Goes like this. It goes like this. Oops. Let's clean that up a little bit. Here's the other thing I know is because of how Bard's Tale is made, that if I go down here, these are all boxes. These are not walls. In the dungeon, they're walls. So in the dungeon, like you could go this way and then come down into this square like that.
Oh
But
yeah,
since it's Bard's Tale outside, I know that there's walls here and here, and I know that there's walls here and here. So I can draw this all without actually having to even go anywhere, just by looking north, looking south, and you want to map north or south first?
let's go north.
Okay, let's fight some cobbles.
Yeah, this is going to be a formality. These guys aren't.
Yeah. XP's XP.
Yep.
Okay, and you said north.
Yeah.
Double check we're looking north. It's mid-morning. So
Yeah.
I can step all the way to here, and I know now I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to draw this in, and I notice that there's nothing past it. And I can tell by looking that this one's a little further away. So I can draw like that. I don't know if I can't see past that yet because I'm not totally sure on the game.
Right.
So I'll look left and look like that. So I know that this tees off. This does this. This does this.
Wow. I would not have been able to draw that just based, but I don't know exactly how you looked and stuff.
Okay, so what I did, let's take this back. Boop, 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 boop. Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm with you up to
you're
this
with me
part.
up to here. All right, so
So you're gonna step forward once, and you're gonna be in that intersection.
I'm in this intersection. And here's what I know from this intersection. Pretty much what I knew just a second ago.
Yep.
So I'm going to look to my left. I see a house there.
Mm-hmm.
So I technically can draw this. I'm going to step forward and turn right, and now I see that there's a house there.
So you step forward and turn right. Okay.
Yep,
Yep.
boop, boop. I'm here. I'm now looking up this way.
Mhm.
And I can see that house there, which means this wall here.
Okay.
So now I come back in here, and I turn this way, and I step forward, and I see two things. I see that there's a house here, and since I can see that there's a house here, but I see that there's not a house here, and I know these are blocks, I know that that's filled in. So
Yep.
that's its own
Gotcha.
little thing. And normally I'd be kicking in the doors to each of these to see if there's anything inside,
Yeah.
but for brevity, I'm not. And I just took another step forward. And so now I know this. I see that this is a little dead end cul-de-sac here, and I know that that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I turn this way, I can see that this is the equipment shop and that I had to get right up on it. So I will, in this case, I'll just make an X through it. With a
Yeah.
pencil, I might do something else, but.
Right.
And so I'm
And so
facing south again, I think.
now yeah. So the question mark is really useful here because it'll tell you the direction. And the other thing to know is that like with that equipment store, every one of those walls is a door in,
Yes.
but you can't go through it. But every door is a door in. So
Yeah. So like, here's like this house here.
mm-hmm.
Let me grab it. This house here. This one right under my little turn arrow.
Yep.
It looks like there's only a door on the front, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn left, and now there's a door on the side, and there's not a door on the front. The doors kind of face you as best they can with the graphics.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yes, I'm not a fan of that.
One thing that helped me to, as a neophyte at this, was I started marking the yellow buildings because that would help me orient
Where you
because
were.
I was having a really hard time orienting myself and like knowing where which was which. So if I could recognize a pattern of like yellow buildings, then I would kind of know where I am. So that helped me a little bit.
So now I know this and this. Well, I don't know that actually, do I? Yeah, I know that. Back here, step forward. I can see that it again. Boxes off. Like that.
Oh shit.
Ooh. All right. We hadn't healed up after last one, so this will be fun. I chose attack.
Time to bust out that fire horn and hope for the best.
Right. Oh, a couple of them are surviving. It's low roll on the fire horn. It doesn't matter. Got him anyway.
Nice. That was a good battle.
That was a good battle. So let's we're very close. So what I'm going to say we do here is I'm going to go back to the inn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to remove everybody
Mm-hmm.
because we are very close. Don't be afraid of going in here often and
Yeah.
taking everybody out and putting them back in. Taking everybody out and putting them back in. The more often you save, the less farther you slide when something goes horribly wrong.
And
Uh,
the side benefit of doing that too is that you learn this neighborhood really well.
that's why I can do this zoom, 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 and
Right.
fly through
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we're very close now. Let's do a party attack just because
Yeah. You got
I'd hate to
the day
die on
ahead.
the way to the. Um, forgot what I was doing there for a second.
Yeah,
Let's do
Billy's the
this.
worst off here.
Yeah, poor Billy.
He's had a rough go of things.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
didn't mean to do that. There you
I
go.
do that all the time.
Yeah, doing an extra one isn't going to cost you anything. All right, I'm. Oops, running around.
The other problem when you're new is that if you turn a way that you didn't intend to turn, or something disrupts you, it's kind of hard to find your way back.
I've gotten lost. I'll tell you where I get confused the most is at this intersection right here when I'm coming around
Yes,
this corner. I get lost here all the time, even now. Even now, it's just because all the buildings look the same.
I get lost at the where the towers are. Um, Actually, if you could show that, because it's really hard to interpret some of these, the way this game moves.
Okay, so we're coming up here. I think you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so now you don't see it in the overland map, and suddenly you're at it, and then when you leave, I don't know which way I'm facing.
you're facing away. So you move
Yeah,
this way, you leave, and it turns you around
180 degrees.
180 degrees.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. The back key turns you 180 degrees. It does not step you backwards.
Right. Unless you're playing on Commodore and then it kicks in the door as opposed to moving forward, because kicking in the door is different than just trying to move through a door, and only certain doors can be just moved through and some need to be kicked in, etc. But we'll talk about that when we actually talk about the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried the Commodore version.
You will not like it. I love it. For me, it's home. It's absolutely home. I know you'll hate the load times.
Yeah, I've got no patience for load times.
You know, that's everything's a load time on that. This feels almost like cheating to me that I can go in and come out. When I leave the Commodore game to like restore from this, it's a several minute commitment to what I just
Right.
had to do. It
Right.
cost me to die, even though it doesn't really cost me to die. It still costs me. Um, ooh, that guy hit me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have?
Nope.
Is there an inn by
By the
uh
samurai?
samurai?
Yeah, one step past the samurai.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. You should check it out and drink everything here.
Yeah, because I've been going all the way back to that inn that's by uh, the other inn.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's like wearing a polo shirt. I don't know what that's about. The innkeeper
Bard's
guy.
Tale has always been a little silly. Um, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's meant to be fun. It's 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 hard to get off the ground, but it's meant to be a fun time to just sort of goof around, race some guys, feel sword and sorcery ish, and
Yeah, kill some dudes.
Kill some dudes. Yeah, and right now, killing dudes feels sort of really hard. Once it's not, it feels so overpowered fun that don't even think about it. Again, close your eyes. Close your eyes if you don't want to know where the review board is. All right, advancement 2. Thelonious
Yeah,
gained 1 to strength.
you go, girl.
Tina gained 1 to IQ. Gained 1 to dexterity. We need 61 XP for the rest. Oh, they gained 1 too. So, Thelonious needs to. Oh, because leveled up. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
So 61 XP for Billy Mays and everybody
All right.
else. There we go.
Randy's up. All
Mhm.
right, awesome.
So,
So you did in an hour uh, what it took me 2 weeks to do.
yes.
Just because you know how to do all these.
Because, yeah, the first time I played it didn't. It took me weeks to do this. Because I was making mistakes like removing my guy when they died.
Yep, I
It,
did that. I re-rolled a bunch of guys. I didn't pay any attention to my stats, which was a huge mistake, even now, because early game I think it is important.
yeah.
I didn't even think to re-roll anyone.
Yeah. The reason why I say it's not necessarily important is you'll notice everybody got a tribute when they leveled. You will
Yeah.
always get an attribute when you level until they're straight 18s. And then it doesn't matter because
Mm-hmm.
everybody's maxed out. And everybody will be maxed out by the time you finish the game. So
Mm-hmm.
it matters, but eventually it doesn't matter. So don't get too hung up on, oh, it's a 13 instead of a 14, or it's a 17 instead of an 18, or how many 18s can I get? Do not let that
Yeah.
hyper focus you. The game is far more relaxed than this initial punch in the balls is. It's
Well,
you
and
know,
plus I was re-rolling them all the time when they died, so I just remove them, delete them, re-roll them, recreate them. So re-rolling over and over again when you're pretty sure they're going to die is not the way to do it. So understanding that save mechanic is key
yeah,
to this game.
yeah.
I will
And
say you are like light years ahead of me in mapping. So I map one square at a time, exactly what square I'm on.
one of the advantages to like I was talking about the mapping episode I did and someone suggested some mapping tools. One of the things I love about being able to do hand drawn mapping is I can look at like where we're standing and then draw a bunch of shit out. And I just
Mhm.
know where that all is and can get a much better sense of things just by looking at it. So like if we keep going north. So I think we got to like here. So I'm standing here. I can see that. So I've gotten to here's where I've mapped to
Mhm.
and it's showing that there's a house here.
Yep.
Now what's misleading about this game and don't fall for it is it looks like there's no map, there's no things to either side of this house. But when you're looking down a tunnel, it doesn't always show you correctly. So you do have to kind of step forward and turn and look.
And
So
that step forward too is jarring for some reason to me. I don't know if this was just on the PC version, but it's like that last step before you face a door almost seems
it's a
like it's
PC
two
version.
two parts to that step, and it confused the shit out of me at first.
Okay, this will be fun for you. So we're standing here.
Hmm.
I'm looking this way.
Hmm.
And I see house here and house here. Bink, bink. That
Hmm.
lets me know that's a dead end. I can draw on that wall too.
Wait, what? What's a dead end?
Boop, boop. So this is what we're looking. We're here,
Yeah.
looking this way, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
so
right, because because
I
it's
know
four
it's a
by four.
block. I know it's a 4x4, so I can just go ahead and fill that in too.
Yep.
I can go back and explore in there when I want and when I'm ready to. I can also do this because I know that's there.
Hmm.
And I mean, I drew all that in. I got all that mapped out just by looking down that hall.
Hmm.
I'm not just mapping what I'm standing on, I'm mapping where I'm looking and trying to get a sense of things that way. Um,
Yeah. And I have a hard time with the spatial reasoning. Like I have to turn my map around
mhm.
so the top is always the direction I'm walking because I get discombobulated
There's
very
another
easily.
advantage to having a paper map. Like you can't do that when it's on the screen. I can't flip this. Well, I could flip this for you actually. I could go into the image and
Yeah, I suppose.
transform and rotate 90, but doing that every time you turn your character,
Yeah.
oh, just two mad dogs.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Close your eyes. I'm sure no one cares.
It would be really hard to piece it together just watching.
So
All right.
now, with the exception of Thelonious, who will always have a little bit less hit points because he's a monk, everybody's over 30 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
That's you can survive a fight. Like you can take a couple hits, and we did this in an hour with talking.
Yeah.
Um, Grind the samurai, practice your mapping, explore the city. Take your time to walk around and get the map drawn out. But don't be afraid. It's 20 runs to the samurai, 21 runs to the samurai, which, as you just saw, does not take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Drink a
And
lot of beer.
drink a lot of
Freaking
beer,
hard.
and
Yep.
boom, you're level 2. And now you can actually get in there. And it's another 20 runs to the samurai if you don't want to just keep exploring, and bounce back and forth. Do a couple runs to the samurai just to grind some stuff out and get that out of the way, and then explore another street. Then do it
Mm-hmm.
again, explore another street, and keep that sort of multiple balls in the air juggling, because that's what's going to keep you from getting burned out on the grind. Doing
Mm-hmm.
some exploration, doing some grind, doing some exploration, doing some grind, and back and forth and back and forth. You're going to have a much better time with the game.
Yep.
How many
Well said.
goblins do we have? 4. All right. See, now this is a joke. Like I had plate mail, I had everybody up front fully decked out. Oh, now I'm just saving up money for when I gotta pay for
Spells.
spells for those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, how much money do I have? Tina found a buckler. Oh, 3 magicians.
Yeah, these magicians can be a pain in the ass.
Oh, and there's a critical hit there. The hunter
Oh,
actually got a kill.
nice.
What I was going in here to do is, so we got 2,600 gold already.
Yeah.
Everybody's decked out. It's been an hour. We've got
Yep.
a good start to the map.
Yep.
You can start finding your way around. Probably would have had more map done if I had been doing this on a paper beside me.
Right.
Um, yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah. Yeah. That is enlightening. Like I think I need to get better at mapping, but definitely running that samurai, looting that fire horn, and not selling it.
Yeah. No, it's
Uh,
tempting because it's a lot of money, and you're like, oh, I'll get a bunch of gear. But when you have 8 barbarians, none of that gear matters.
right.
You're not going to survive it. They can all hit too hard. They can all hit for like 14 points of crack, and if they all target the same guy,
Yep.
that's like 100 and some damage.
Yeah.
He'll be dead after 3, and they get to keep going through your rounds then. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
death comes
That's
in
how
the
you
form
start
of 3
Bard's Tale, I
hobbits.
guess.
That's how you start Bard's Tale. That's how you get to level 2, and at level 2 you should be able to walk around the city, not with impunity, but without having to tuck your tail between your legs every time you see something.
Right. Exactly.
So, all right. Any other questions before we kill
No,
it for the day?
I think that is a big help.
Okay. I'll have everybody sort of comment on this. This is our idea on how we want to handle some of these bigger games too. Like I'm looking at Deathlord or Magic Candle, and I'm thinking the first game, when we've got a 2 month game, the first month will be a how to play, and then the second
Yeah.
month will be a review of the game,
Yeah. Discussion.
discussion.
not a
Sorry,
review.
yes, discussion. Um, People get on about that. Like they get really like you didn't like the game, you reviewed it badly. I talked about it. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it made me feel.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a bad game or it's in anything else. We're gonna take apart the mechanics, but that's
Yeah,
not a review. We're not reviewers. We're just goofing around with games.
we're just a couple of assholes.
Couple assholes. Yeah. Um. Okay. There's nothing else.
No,
I'll.
I think that's enough to get me at least over this hump.
Yep. Next time will be more Bard's Tale.
All right.
Talk to everybody later.
Thanks,
Thanks for
everyone.
watching. Bye.
Bye. Oh, this went from bad to worse. Maybe we should do Snake DX,
All
Dino
right. Dino
Wrangler,
Run.
whatever the Dino Run, Ant Madness.
Ant Madness.
This time the game is real.
Just I don't know. Just roll around in them. Here's what I should do. View. Unshow desktop icons. Done.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Problem solved.
All your shameful secrets have disappeared. I didn't know that was even a thing you could do.
Yeah.
Today I learned something.
Today you learned.